What's up, Digidestins? You know what time it is? It's Japanese Tuesday. We get to look at the Japanese meta, and we have something spicy to look at. We have a whole bunch of EX8 decks to look at, and I'm excited to talk about it and go over it with all of you guys. So let's take a look at what JP kind of brought to our fold with the EX8 set. So taking a look here, Dukemon's taken 4 wins over the past weekend. There has been an Evo Cup. I think there's been a couple Evo Cups. Fenry Luga taking 3, Pyramidimon taking 2. I think there's a third one because I think I found a third. DS taking 2, Plants Fairies 1, Blue Flare 1, Birds and Beast 1, Terriermon 1, Red Purple Imperial Dramon 1, D Reaper 1, Red Hybrid Lucemon, Blue Armors, Yellow Hybrid, Security Control, Nature Spirits, NSO, Togemon, Taomon, and Gammamon. Gammamon, let's take a look at Gammamon. Gammamon's been a hot second since we've seen Gammamon do anything. What are you doing here? Let's take a look at a 3v3. I know they're not as impressive because 3v3 skew a little bit differences, but looks like they're splashing in Dinomon, and they splashed in the Dragon Link support as a better top end. I don't blame them. This set seems like a good idea, especially with the Garnet memory boost that I even talked in yesterday's video about. Looks like a possibility of working for the better. So hopefully we see more and more shenanigans with this, but you know, that's kind of cool. But taking a look here, this was another 3v3. This is the, what is it? NSOs. So, you know, this is pretty cool. You know, taking a look here, this is the promo, by the way, the spider promo. We'll look at it in a minute. But they are using Pyramidimon, a Skull Mammothmon at a full big one. You know, you may play one NSO trait Digimon with a play cost 5 or less from your hand or trash without paying its cost on deletion recovery 1. They are playing Shoto in their list for blocking possibilities, Nightmare Soldiers. You know, this field spell, all your level 4 or higher NSO traits gain Scapegoat. Add this to the bottom security, then this card is face up as the bottom security card. Well, you don't have a face up security, you can ignore color requirements. Nightmare Soldiers are pretty cool, and security, it gets to play at level 5. So yeah, taking a look here, they are playing one Medieval Gammamon, which is not bad. It's actually a pretty solid, you know, playable card across the board. You know, when you would play this by spending 2 Digimon, reduce the play cost by 4. So basically it comes in for a 7 cost, which is not terrible in its own right. All turns when Digimon are played, you may activate one of this Digimon's when Digivolving effects. So pretty solid. Then you have Baltimon. So this card is just a very powerful Digimon itself for a Jogress. When Digivolving, Digivolve 3 of one of your opponent's Digimon, and for the turn, all their Digimon get minus 6,000 DP. Then if DNA Digivolve, you may play 10 play cost total worth of, you know, Nightmare Soldier traded Digimon card from your trash without paying its cost. All turns when another Digimon are deleted, trash the opponent's top security stack. So just really cool Botamon. And then you have like Pyramidimon, Ace, and Myotismon in the list. Really solid across the board. You know, then you could take, excuse me? Then you have this card being played. So, Nightmare Soldier, Insect, on play when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Kind of cool that a promo had the ability of this. So, right out of the bat, it's just pretty cool to see that they made a promo right away. Taking a look here, we have the Dukemon list. If you take a look, it's using Zaphiga, Aradimon, Medieval Gammamon at 3, Dukemon at 4. They are using Jade Memory Boost to help search for its pieces because they are green. And like I said, a lot of decks are starting to use these smaller memory boosts to their benefits. You know, then you also have Nature Spirit in itself. This card just gives all your Nature Spirit Digimon Alliance. It's kind of cool that, you know, this in a 3v3 it got first place, playing both basically the 3 new, you know, field spell kind of decks with Nature Spirit, Nightmare Soldiers, and then the final one we'll talk about in a minute. But taking a look though, really solid across the board, and I like when decks kind of just improve like this, right? Then you have the final one of the water deck, and This was the, what was it? If I remember correctly, Deep Savers, I think it was called. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Deep Savers. Deep Savers field spell. Basically, while you have one or more memory, none of your Deep Savers traded Digimon can be deleted by battle. Just gives a inherent jamming across the board. They are playing 2 scrambles for mental trainings, and then blue memory boost as well. You know, it's a really solid, interesting way of seeing things in a different light. You know, decks that just didn't seem like they did quite well, and especially in a 3v3 setting. I know it's kind of best of 1 format, and then you basically play 3 different decks. It's kind of cool to have this kind of deck come into a fray, and I like that they went with this, because this felt like you got to play 3 really good decks with 3 confident pilots, and having Nightmare Soldiers, Nature Spirits, and Deep Savers as great deck options across the board. It's kind of cool to see where they go with this. You know, using Aegistromon, Metal Seedramon, Ace, and Plesionomon as great potential, especially because you're going to be playing a lot of these things from your sources. And make sure you have your promo, it looks like. Then we did get Pyramidimon. So this is basically Sonoriza's deck. I like the Go Gammamon being at a full playset. It's been a while since we've seen this card come into existence. I know it's got a few printings, so don't go too crazy ham. Make sure you get your copies, though. I definitely recommend that if you guys are looking at this. But Pyramidimon basically says, "Hi, I got big red lips in the middle of my face." Just kidding. But Fragmented 3. This card basically, when this Digimon would be deleted by trashing 3 of his Digievolution cards if it isn't deleted. So it has a great protection skill, at least some sort of protection that helps it. So if it was to be deleted, it prevents the deletion, which is quite useful. We kind of need that, and it's not once per turn with this protection, but you know, by trashing 3 mineral or rock traded from any of your Digimon's Digievolution card, this Digimon unsuspends, it gains attack 1 for the turn. So this thing keeps swinging and swinging for days, and at the end of your turn you may place 3 mineral or rocks trash under this Digimon's bottom Digievolution. Not bad. It can make it so it can protect itself and be set up. A lot of its blast inheritables are like, when this effect trashes a mineral or rock, Digievolution delete one of your opponent's play cost 4 or less. You know, there is this one that de-digivolves by when it's trashed. So you need to find clothes as soon as possible. So you got to use trainings to find it, and memory boosts to help dig for your other pieces. But you know what? Really solid deck in my opinion, and I really like where they went with this. And I don't see this deck going anywhere anytime soon. I think this might actually do quite well in the beginning couple weeks, but we'll have to see if this thing actually continues. Then we have the Gammamon deck topping in a Evo Cup. So, guys, if you've been waiting for Gammamon to be a deck that makes them afraid of you, this might be your time to shine, guys. Offensive trainings, memory boost, 1 red scramble, Takatos across the board, but Gammamon X antibody when digivolving, when attacking. If Gammamon or X antibody is Digivolution, this Digimon gains 4,000 DP, and one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP until the end of turn. And then when digivolving and attack, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10,000 DP or less. And if this effect didn't delete, trash the top card of your opponent's security attack, and this Digimon unsuspends. All turns when you have 0 or less memory, this isn't affected by your opponent's Digimon. So making yourself basically invulnerable to anything that isn't an option, basically as long as it's your opponent's turn. Really solid. This is a really powerful card, to be honest with you, and it's going to be really interesting to see where players actually literally land with this, because it can be definitely 3 or 2 in my opinion. We'll have to see. But having like Crimson Mode Ace as another Blast Ace option, they are very hyper focused on normal War Growlmon shenanigans. They definitely went back to like the old route. They're not playing the Ace War Growlmon, which makes a lot of sense, because the new X antibody is exactly what this deck needed. Until the end of your opponent's turn, the Digimon cannot be returned to hand or deck and gets plus 3,000 DP. And if War Growlmon or X Digievolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10,000 DP or less. So basically, like any deck that got an involved dual color version, they gave it a better protection skill. So Making it so that this deck has protection was always its biggest weakness, and being able to prevent it from being bounced to hand or bottom decked, really solid. This deck needed that tenfold, and I'm really glad to be around to see Gammamon actually live up to its potential, and I'm excited to see where they go from this in the future, because I can't wait, to be straight honest with you. You know, Gammamon X, Gammamon, Crimson Mode Ace, all these cards are great across the board, and I think we're going to finally see Gammamon really shine, and hopefully it shines here in the on the English side. I know Sean really did well with his deck, like probably the best Gammamon player to date, but I can't wait for other players to start really unlocking their true potential with Gammamon. And I think, you know, one great player can do extremely well with this deck, and I feel like we need more representation for Gammamon. Gammamon is a very fan favorite of mine for Royal Knights, and it's really awesome to see that he's finally gotten the love and support that he's overly gotten, like 50,000 of support, but finally gotten the broken nutty support that he's needed for a while. So I definitely hope for the best for this, and hopefully we're gonna see more and more gameplay with Gammamon. But again, this could be all just shiny new toy, you know, shenanigans, and eventually this could all just fade out. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.